This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. If you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to their store and they'll know I sent you there. Before we jump into this Kaladesh Remastered draft, I want to remind everyone that Card Kingdom sponsors my content. You can visit their store using my referral link by clicking on a link in the description on YouTube or the logo below on Twitch. They have all kinds of great stuff, magic apparel, magic cards, you know, all of the stuff you could want. Great presents for your magic loving, you know, people you're getting gifts for. So check them out. Morning, Huckabee. Well, look at this pack. Jeez. So Rishkar Pima Renegade's super good. Puts counters on stuff. Helps you ramp. Fatal Push is premium removal. It is a little less good in limited. Well, it's considerably less good in limited than it is in constructed, but it's still quite good. Untethered Express is a really good vehicle that gets huge. It has trample. It's easy to crew. All three of those are first pickable cards. And it's hard to make a choice. Especially since this is like a format from the long past, and, you know, I don't remember every detail about it, but... Man, I mean, Untethered Express is colorless. That matters. Certainly. But, yeah, I mean, Rishkar, Fatal Push, Untethered Express. God, they're all so good. I have to pick only one? I'm going to go with the Express in the end. Colorless, you know, and I guess I'll use that as a tiebreaker. I'd probably take Welding Sparks here. It's a pretty good removal spell. Some artifact upside. You know, Prophetic Prism is better than it looks in this format because of all the artifact synergy. But I still think it's Welding Sparks here. Neither of these red uncommons are particularly good in limited. Alright, so we kind of have a choice here between two commons that are really powerful and power very different decks. Between Dawn Feather Eagle and Gear Seeker Serpent. They're both pretty critical cards for, you know, this for white-red. This for any artifact deck, which includes blue-red. It's also a Renegade map, which is good fixing. Yeah. I do think the Dawn Feather Eagle works a little better in a wider variety of decks than the Gear Seeker, but the Gear Seeker is powerful and you can make it work. Let's go with Gear Seeker in the end here. I kind of used as a tiebreaker there the fact that I've played with, you know, the other card a bunch of times already in this format, the Eagle. Of course, now there's an Airdrop Aeronauts, which is a pretty good little card. Bruiser and Colony aren't bad, but I think Airdrop Aeronauts is the best card in here. Yeah. Okay, so there's another Dawn Feather Eagle. There's also a Peace Walker Colossus, which is pretty nice. It's not as good as some of the vehicles that are around, but it's not bad, you know. Yeah, there's also another Eagle. So it's either the Colossus or the Eagle. This can make any vehicle into creatures, which is cool. Its crew cost is steep for what it is, admittedly. But yeah, let's go with the Colossus here. We have a few vehicles. Wow, so I could have had 3 Dawn Feather Eagles. If I knew that was going to happen, I definitely would have ended up in an Eagle deck, I think. I think we're going to take Ether Chaser here. It works in both decks we might end up in, whether it's red-white or blue-red or whatever. I guess it wouldn't work in blue-white, but this card's really good. It attacks well most of the game, really, and makes servos. It gives you energy. Those are all good things. Okay. Pima Outrider, probably like the best card in this pack. The Puzzle Knot's not terrible. There are a lot of X1s that it helps you kill. The Infiltrator isn't a bad little 2-drop. It's not an artifact, though. And we do have reasons to care about that. Yeah, for now, I think I'll grab the Puzzle Knot. I mean, the Rebel and Apprentice aren't terrible, but... Okay, I think we'll take another Ether Chaser here. So, Red-White does look really open. The question is whether it will still be open after those Dawn Feather Eagles, 3 of them, went around. So, yeah. Okay, so I don't mind Eddy Trailhawk. I like it a little more than the Mastodon here. You know, giving stuff flying is always a nice thing in Limited. And one of the nice things about all these energy cards is, even though they're like 2 mana cards, they're all going to give you some value, even if they die right away. You know, because you have other cards in your deck that can use the energy for other purposes. And that is pretty nice. You can't say that about very many 2-drops, but this format has a lot of cheap cards where that's the case. And granted, it's not like a whole card worth of value. It's probably like a quarter of a card or half a card. But that does matter. So the goggles are pretty nice. You know, the Ether Chasers are Artificers. They equip for free when Artificer comes into play, which is nice. The Mechanic and Renegade aren't bad either, but I think I'll grab goggles here, which does push us more in like an aggressive red-white direction. Which, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with all those Eagles that went around. Silly me trying to avoid drafting yet another Dawn Feather Eagle deck. It would have been great if one of them wheeled. All right, I think we want the Renegade here a little more than the Warrior. It's an Artificer. That matters, and it can make a servo sometimes. So, yeah. This is actually better than I was thinking it is when we looked at it earlier. I was thinking it was a different uncommon. This is actually a reasonable card. It's not great, but I think the Renegade's better still. All right, we'll grab this Frontline Rebel. See you later on, Karen. You know, I guess one reason that 2 mana 3... Oh, no, you have a crew of 4. That's crazy. You're crazy, man. So these are pretty similar cards, but I do think we have enough artifacts right now that Sweatworks Brawler will be a little better. So there's Oath of Ajani. Ooh, Pacification Array is pretty darn good. It's not the most well-suited to where we're ending up, but a card that lets you, you know, it's Icy Manipulator-esque, and I think we're interested in that. Especially because the red and white cards in this pack are less than stellar. Okay, well, there's a Dawn Feather Eagle if we want one. I think we probably do. This Reprisal was always kind of disappointing in this format. It frequently could just kill one thing or no things, and that was pretty annoying. You can hit your opponent with it, with one of the 2 damage things, but still. So yeah, I think we like the Eagle even more than the Intruder. Yeah. Do I wish I had all the other Eagles? Maybe. This pack has some nice stuff in it. I mean, Glint-Ness Crane. Another Gear Seeker if we want to go that route. I'm actually leaning towards Built to Smash, though. We seem like we're going to be an aggro deck, and this is a great trick for decks that are attacking a lot, and decks that have artifact creatures, which we don't have a ton right now, but we have a few. And it's good even if you're not using it on an artifact creature. We do have servos, too, hidden in our deck, but... The more I look at this Peace Walker Colossus, I probably shouldn't have taken it when I did, but it should be interesting. See how it does. I guess if we end up with more vehicles, it'll get a little better, but I also don't want to like jam a bunch of bad vehicles into the deck. Planar Bridge. Man, blue is looking pretty open right now. We're going to grab another pair of Inventor's Goggles here over a second Built to Smash. Nice, good little piece of equipment. Something we don't see in all limited formats, which is hard to remember because right now there's some good ones. I think we take Hungry Flames here. Yeah, I don't think it's particularly close. It's a great removal spell. And we don't have much removal. I mean, Pacification Array is about all we got right now. Okay, so we have Pyro Helix and Pioneer and Cogworker's Puzzle Knot. Those are all things that interest me. The Puzzle Knot gives us 3 for Improvise and 3, or well, and 3 in the long run for other things. I guess it only gives 2, really, but because it sacrifices itself. I think the Pioneer is probably a little better. Helps us go wide too, while not having quite as ugly of a fail case. Alright, well, I like Artisan, but I still think Ether Chaser is going to be better, especially in a deck with 2 Inventor's Goggles. You know, Windkind Raiders, if we were blue, would be interesting. But yeah, we're grabbing another Ether Chaser here. Okay, so here is a go wide payoff that I think I'm going to take. I kind of doubt you need at least 2, I feel like, for this deck to be at its best. And the chances of us getting another Dawnfeather Eagle aren't great. The Fireweaver would be okay in our deck, but I'm going to grab this Inspired Charge. This is a format where it actually works. I don't know that we're playing this Puzzle Knot in the end. Yeah, from here on out, we mostly need to be taking creatures. Yeah. Okay, so probably just going to grab Eager Construct over another Built to Smash. We do need to lower our curve in general, and it'll help us do that. It's not bad. It's not good either, but it's perfectly fine. You know, it's not great that your opponent gets to scry. I mean, you both get to scry, but your opponent gets to take advantage of it first, but still. All right, I think here we probably grab the Intruder. I think we have enough artifacts that it's a pretty threatening activation. Again, Furious Reprisal, not something I'm that interested in. So we have another Puzzle Knot. We also have a Sailback. I don't really want either, but I guess I'll take the Puzzle Knot. Okay, we got another Built to Smash if we want it. So yeah, this last pack we're looking for lots of ways to go wide, and then I think we have ourselves a pretty solid deck. All right. Well, Skyship Stalker's pretty good. You do need to have like a bunch of mana to pump into it for it to be at its best, but its fail case is still a 4-mana 3/3 flyer with a bunch of abilities, you know, that you'll at least be able to activate some of. So it's definitely what we take here, I think. You know, the Aeronauts, we already have one of. They're not bad. There's not really anything else in this pack I would take over it. Pack one, pick one either. So, you know, Ether Swooper and Aeronauts probably, an Outrider kind of in the next tier in this pack, but Stalker's definitely at the top. So do I want another Ether Chaser? Yeah, I kind of think I do. You know, Eddie Trailhawk and Infiltrator are both good 2-drops, but I do think Ether Chaser is just better. So we'll take it. Especially, you know, it may make us actually want to play 2 Built to Smashes when we have that going on. Okay, so we did get another Inspired Charge, but I don't think we want another one. Sky Skiff's not bad. I'm kind of leaning towards just grabbing this 5-drop, which, you know, this deck's going to end up, I guess it'll be our 3rd, which is fine, I think. We probably won't have any more than that. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be better for us than Puzzle Knot or another Inspired Charge or a Sky Skiff, so. Okay, so how many artifact creatures did we end up with in the end here? We sort of have to count these, so we could say 5-ish, 6, 7-ish, 9-ish. So we probably have enough that Chief of the Foundry is going to be better than Speedway Fanatic. We do have, I mean, obviously, playing Untethered Express and crewing it with a Speedway Fanatic is nasty, but I think Chief of the Foundry is going to do some serious business in this deck with all the servos we're making. So, yeah, that's what we're going to take here. Oh, we did get another Dawn Feather Eagle, which means we don't have to run that Inspired Charge. It's just so much better. So much better. Yeah, that almost comeback was pretty crazy. So, see you later, Inspired Charge. Man. So, we're probably good on goggles. You know, we're probably taking Welding Sparks or Hungry Flames. I think we have enough artifacts in this deck that Welding Sparks is going to be better than Hungry Flames, as weird as that is. I think normally, like pack one, pick one, you take Hungry Flames over the Sparks, but we have a lot of artifacts, so I think we like the idea. Oh man, I got another Dawn Feather Eagle. People be disrespecting the Eagle, man. I'm going to take that. Ooh, and now we get a late Renegade Wheelsmith. Things are really going our way at the end of this pack. And then there's this pack, you know. We'll take a Reprisal here. So, that does give us 5 5s. So we'll see if we stick with that or not. Obviously, there's some cutting we're going to have to do, but... I think in the end, we're probably not playing this. Kind of wanted to play with it, and I definitely think it was a little much for when I picked it. I picked it pretty early, too, so... Hello, actually a dog. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream and my voice. So, yeah, I mean... Question is, there might be something to be said for cutting both airdrop aeronauts, which is kind of crazy in most decks. But we want to keep our curve low, go wide, and then just play a Dawn Feather Eagle and win, which, you know, sounds like wishful thinking, but it works out. Actually, I'm going to take a Tampering here. But it works out more often than you'd think in red-white in this format. We're not quite as good at going wide as some of the decks I've had lately in this color pair, but we're all right at it. But yeah, we could have had all the inspired charges we wanted. I just got a little scared. You know, the last time I drafted this deck, all I ended up with was one Dawn Feather Eagle. And granted, that deck still managed to 5 and 3, but I think I was thinking about that a little bit when I was like grabbing that inspired charge. Okay. So I think we're cutting at least one airdrop aeronauts just to lower our curve, basically. I mean, it's sad to do, but, you know, that happens sometimes, you know. This is a card that you take... I mean, it's not, like, super first pickable, but you feel all right about first picking it, and we just cut one because that's just not what our deck's doing exactly. I think, you know, the things in our deck that are not artifacts, that don't help us go wide or don't pump our whole board... are all things we need to look at and decide whether they're worthwhile or not. So, you know, I think, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of choices. I think Frontline Rebel's probably a pretty easy cut. It's not, like, you know, anything. After that, though, I don't think our cuts are that easy. I guess our Colossus that I foolishly took probably is an easy cut. I guess Eager Construct. How many artifact creatures did we end up with? Actual artifact creatures, it's technically only 3, but we do have a bunch of servo creation as well. Are you a artificer? No, you're a pilot. So how many artificers do we have in this deck? 7. I mean, I think that's plenty for the goggles. I could consider cutting one. I'm kind of considering cutting one built to smash, because the deck's main game plan isn't going to be to, like, power through with built to smash so much as it's going to be to just play Dawn Feather Eagle after going wide early. So I think cutting one built to smash makes sense. Pacification Array is definitely a better card in a deck that's more interested in, you know, being control-y, but it's still pretty good here. I think our Ravenous Intruder has plenty to eat to be, you know, just threat of activation is going to be a nightmare for our opponent sometimes. So I think it stays in. I think Eddy Trailhawk pairs well enough with Ether Chaser that it stays in. So the Renegade could be on the block, but I think the Construct probably should be first. Yeah. Alright, one more card. One more card. Is it just airdrop aeronauts? Oh, probably not. It's probably better to hold on to one of those than Built to Smash. Yeah. Alright. Okay. This looks like it'll be our deck. Seems pretty good to me. You know, the 3 Dawnfeather Eagles are... We're going to be leaning on those a lot. Let's see how it goes. I do have another Eddy Trailhawk for what that's worth. I guess I cut one of them. But I think I just want one. That doesn't help us go wide after all. Not in a direct way anyway. All right. We could have had like a 4 Dawnfeather Eagle deck if we were just all in on red white the whole time. I think our deck would be really absurd. That's not really a hand we can keep though. That is much better. This might be a hand where I put back Inventor's Goggles. We don't have an Artificer in our hand, and I think we need to hold on to the 2-drop, the removal spell, and the Eagle a little more, which is sad, but... And we need the lands, obviously. Well, if I knew I was going to draw another Dawnfeather Eagle, that's actually what I would have put back. You don't want too many of them early. Could use some artifacts. Man. We're not doing too well in the early stages of this game. Granted. Ah. I could kill this thing. Question is whether or not it's worth it. The energy it makes can eventually help them draw cards, but... I think for now... I'm just gonna let it live. I mean, yeah. Are these the Bob Ross lands? They look like Bob Ross lands. Okay, so that's gonna give them more energy, but I can't really do anything about it right away, so they're gonna draw more cards, get more energy, and now they can draw a card with this at the end of the turn. So I kind of wish I'd killed it now, but what are you gonna do? Oof. Yeah, the problem is now they're going to have the ability to draw a card with this, so if I kill it, I'm pretty much going down a card. Yeah, they're just going to take it, too. I mean, that's probably smart on their part. Like, Built to Smash or something. It's not worth losing their Ether Thief when all they're doing is taking 1 damage. I guess I'm glad I cut one of those 5 mana 4/3 life gain guys, because I probably would have drawn all of them too. You know, it's not nearly as powerful as like if we had a bunch of creatures in play, but you know, just playing a Dawnfeather Eagle can be pretty powerful. And then playing a second Dawnfeather Eagle on top of that as well. There's a chance they have counter magic here, which is going to suck for us, but... Okay, well now there's not. I probably need to kill that before they can start chaining it together with other things. So I think that's what I'll do here. Wow. All the lands. Oh, that was stupid. I give them free energy. Yeah. I was just thinking of it as a free attack, but it's really not one. So this game did not go... Uh-oh. Well, now it really didn't go the way we wanted it to. Man. Alright, well, we're gonna play our other Dawn Feather Eagle. We'll probably draw our third one now, which wouldn't be too bad. The fact we have 0 artifacts is kind of silly. Yep, flood does happen. Okay. So now we can't really race them. Interesting. Yeah, that'll only get them to a 3-4. Yeah, I can't really race them anymore. Because if I attack, they'll just take it and swing back at me for 4. I am going to equip my Dawn Feather Eagle here, though, so that it's big enough to survive combat. Yeah, this game really hasn't gone our way. The fact we're still in it. It's a little surprising, really, given the flood we experienced and the... Like, our deck has a very specific game plan, and things really didn't pan out that way, you know? But... Hey! I think you're probably a little too late. Although, I guess I can equip it. I'm gonna decline. Pretty good blocker to get from Alphys squad, at least. We have fewer cards than they do. They must have just been playing with a bigger deck. Okay. Well, I think that pretty much means we're dead. Not on the spot exactly, but pretty close. Yeah, we're not coming back from this. We don't have Fumigate. Alright, let's see if we can... Things can go a little more smoothly this time. We have a lot of good 2s and 3s. Just need to play them. Play Dawn Feather Eagle. That's our plan, and our deck has enough Dawn Feather Eagles and cheap creatures that's gonna happen more often than it won't, you know, in the long run, even if there are games like the one we just had. It's funny, though, you know, those 2 Dawn Feather Eagles probably would have taken over the game if they didn't have removal. So, even though they weren't really doing what they want to be doing, this is pretty good. I kind of wish I was going first, but it's definitely a keep. I mean, there's a little bit of a risk of not hitting mana, but we can probably power out the Sweatworks Brawler anyway. It looks like we hit mana too, so this is more of what we're looking for from an opening hand. Alright. Well. So if they have a trick or something here, I can use welding sparks. Yeah, they don't have a trick anyway, so that's good. I think we want to play our Wheelsmith next, rather than another Ether Chaser. I can also just power out Sweatworks Brawler. Yeah, I'm gonna do that actually. Play our 3-mana 3/3 with Menace. Okay. So I'm going to attack with both of these. And probably play the Wheelsmith. So do I just let this trade happen? I think I probably do. Yeah. And then we play, yeah, Wheelsmith. Could use our 4th land now. We might be able to get by without it, but it's not going to be easy. Okay, hit my Wheelsmith. Hey! Alright, so 2 very strong 4-drops in our hand. I guess I could play this next turn and conceivably, if I have a land, give it haste. So maybe it's better to just play the Express. I do know I'm attacking with Ether Chaser here. That much I know. Yeah, I'm going to play the Express here. If we draw a mountain, we can give this haste, and if we don't, well, we're still in pretty decent position. Okay. We did not draw a mountain, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and crew this. May have a way of disrupting it here, but let's find out. I'm going to play Skyship Stalker in my second main phase. Yeah, they do. Okay. See, that would have killed our Stalker too, so... Alright, yeah, let's play our Stalker now. Wait, what? Oh. Need to go to my second main phase. Our opponent's probably like, seriously? I just had to kill an untethered Express. They might have another kill spell for it. Doesn't look like they do. They have a free scry here if they want it. Well, that's going to be nice, eventually. Alright, so... attack with both of these. So... do I bother with Welding Sparks or Hungry Flames here? I think maybe I want to use Hungry Flames. But just playing another Ether Chaser is also pretty good. So yeah, I'll just kill the Mechanic. Then I'm gonna pump 1 red mana into this to do 1 more damage. And then play another Ether Chaser. Fifth land would be great. Aw, man. Fifth land's still pretty good, but it is sad they had to take that from me. Hurts my heart. They should have attacked first. I guess I didn't want to give anything up, though, just to get a servo. Alright. That's pretty good. So we go Dawn Feather Eagle. Not as good as it could have been, but, you know, still pretty good. So this does 2 direct damage eventually. So I should just be able to Hungry Flames the Pioneer out of the way and win here. I could also play another Dawn Feather Eagle, but I don't think it's necessary. And I think we're actually more likely to win on the spot with Hungry Flames. Oh, wait a second. They can actually sacrifice their creature in response and not take the damage. It's a question of whether they'll do that, I guess. Or just scoop. Okay, well, even if they do that, they may not die this turn. Forget it. I think the Dawn Feather Eagle plan is better. No, it's not. Let's just do this. Alright. I put a lot of thought into that, which was probably unnecessary, but... So that one went the way we want them to, which is to say... play a bunch of early creatures, do some damage, and then play Dawn Feather Eagle. More or less. Alright, we may not have red mana here, but I think the hand is keepable anyway. You know, we have 3 white cards. It'll be great if we draw red mana. But even if we don't, it's not the end of the world. At least not the way the hand is currently constructed. Should we draw, like, all red cards, it's kind of the end of the world, but... you know, like that one. And now we need to draw any land at all, so we'll see how this goes. I mean, I think it was definitely a keeper, but looks like our opponent's having problems, too, is the good news. So if we stumble a little on mana here, it's not the end of the world for us. And it looks like we're going to. Any land at all, please. That's how our opponent feels, too. Aha! Alright, so... I'm probably going to go with the Express here. It can snowball the game pretty quickly. The Wheelsmith's pretty good, too, because... yeah, well, that sucks for our opponent. Kind of balances out our first game a little, maybe, but... they got stuck on 2. And I'm sure they kept a keepable hand, too, where they were like, I just need to draw 1 land in the next 4 turns. That'll happen. And then it didn't happen. So. We've all been there. Alright, this is a good hand. You can play a turn 3 Sweatworks Brawler with it. Which is pretty nice. Hey! You know what I don't have much of, unfortunately? I don't think I have any artifact destruction in this deck. Which is less than ideal, but that is where we are. I'm going to tap down their pacification array with my pacification array. Okay. So, yeah, I think we just play our brawler here. What's happening right now? Alright, so we're gonna Hungry Flames this guy. I guess we'll see whether or not they Hungry Flame ours. Nope, it's just a salivating gremlin. Which I'm not ultra concerned about. So if I play Eddy Trailhawk, I can keep this up, which is probably worth it. So they're going to have mana up to tap my Brawler with their pacification array. If I don't tap down their pacification array, anyway. What I'm thinking is I could tap down the Gremlins. So a 4-3 with Trample isn't about to attack me, but I'm not sure that's really worth it. I think it might be better to just force them to leave up their 2 mana. And take 4 here. I do have Welding Sparks too, so like I don't need to rely on Pacification Array in the long run or anything. Right, so that's what they're gonna do. I guess if I'd tapped down their array at least, or their gremlins, I at least wouldn't have taken the damage. But then they probably would have left the mana up, I guess. So yeah. I'll decide at the end of my turn which of these I'm tapping down. So this attacking and making a servo will make this bigger every turn, so that's kind of a problem. Alright. So tap down the monitor for now. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to attack with both. I am not going to use any energy here. Thank you for the follow, Non-Toxic Avenger. I'm going to play another big flyer. So I could take a big hit here, but I can swing back pretty hard too. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. These gremlins are going to get absolutely massive if we're not careful. Interesting. So we're just going to take this. Probably time to Welding Sparks that gremlin. I mean, hitting the Virtuoso is tempting too, but they'll be able to make a servo in response. So the value of doing it is less than I'd like. So let's attack here. Alright, so they're not going to let me attack with that, which I suppose makes sense. So if they go for a double block here, I probably use Welding Sparks. But the problem is they can still make a Thopter. You know, that's the nightmare here. They can only make one, so it's probably going to be worth it, but... yeah, so... we're going to kill both of these at least. So the question now is whether I'd rather play a Chief of the Foundry here or lean on Pacification Array. I think I'm going to play our Chief. So I'm in top deck mode, which isn't great news. Okay. So they can Pacification Array here and hit me for 5. Uh-oh. Key to the City's bad. Although they can't use it right now, so there's that. They haven't given that Menace. And for that reason, I think I'm going to block it. Alright, so pacification arrays all around. I honestly think maybe we want to put it on the Hawk so that we have 2 sort of sizable creatures, even if they try to use their array aggressively. Yeah. So, the only good news is, with Key to the City, that whatever they target to make unblockable, I can just tap down. Well, I guess if it's the Thopter, I'm not going to be doing that. That will allow them to potentially chip in for 1 damage, unfortunately. Yeah, getting the card draw here isn't good for us. I mean, we need to win the game quickly, although, if we could just hit some Dawn Feather Eagles, you know? Do I try and race here? I think so. Dawn Feather Eagle or Skyship Stalker would be really nice for us. I guess what I did by attacking here is it means that they don't have to pump their Gremlin before attacking with it. Yeah. Do they attack with their Thopter? They do. They don't have anything else to play, but I have a feeling they do with 2 cards in their hand and 5 mana. Oh, good. Ugh. Ugh. So we're having to deal with Rashmi now. I can hit them for 5 here. And then take 3 on the backswing. I mean, I think it's worth it. Putting them at 5 puts them in range of some stuff. Although I guess we already used Hungry Flames, didn't we? I'm gonna do it. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. Luckily, they just drew a land there with Rashmi, which is still pretty good, but with this game going down to the wire, that extra card's not really going to make the difference right this second. It's all going to come down to this turn. Although, I guess maybe it's not, because... Well, I'll be able to untap. Yeah, I got there. Because the array would have let me tap down the Gremlins and then the Thopter. What a weird game that was. Glad you're enjoying the stream on Thursday. I'll be streaming most Thursdays in November and maybe longer than that. Kind of depends how life pans out, but... At least for now, I'll be streaming on Thursdays for the rest of December. Yeah, that turn where they played Rashmi, giving me that opportunity to hit them for 5 was... That was a big deal for us. Ooh. Alright, let's just, like, draw some lands. And then this hand will be bonkers, you know, just the normal plan. Another pacification array, huh? Alright, 4th and 5th lands. I'm gonna need you to show up soon to be at my happiest. They're just gonna leave up their array, it looks like. Hi, A-U-E, her? I don't know how to say that. Thanks for the resub. Alright, so they're gonna tap that down. Then I'm gonna play Ether Chaser. Then it's a question of whether I want to play the goggles now. I guess I probably do. Oh, I did that backwards. I always think... I'm so screwed up by the current format that I've been playing... done that a few times now. Where I play the equipment at the wrong time. Okay, so we're not hitting the mana we want, but... I think we'll be okay. We're going to attack for 4 here and make 2 servos. Oh boy. Oh... I really like that 4th land. Our opponent's saying the same thing, I guess, is the good news. 4th land means we can play some scary stuff. 5th land, following 4th land, is even scarier. Okay. Hey, there it is. Alright, so we're going to go to combat. I'm sure they tap down our Ether Chaser who's got the goggles on. That's okay. So pacification array is going to make equipment a pain. crewing a pain, because we'll crew it and then they'll tap it. So I think it's probably a little better to just play the Stalker here. I mean, they only have so much mana is the thing. I guess even if I play Untethered Express, they've only got 3 mana and they have to use it one way or another. Okay. Well, guess that worked out. So we're going to play... We are just going to go wide here rather than play Untethered Express for... what I think are probably obvious reasons, which are, you know, Dawn Feather Eagle in her hand. Okay, so we're going to attack with this and with this. We're going to make a servo. They can kill that if they double block it, but... I'll play Eddy Trailhawk. Thank you for the gift subs. Yeah, I have 4 Ether Chasers. Okay. That doesn't solve all their problems, especially because we finally drew this land we wanted. So I'm not going to give anything flying, I don't think. I guess giving this flying is pretty good, actually. Yeah, alright. Thanks again for all the gift subs. I really appreciate it. I do appreciate the support. Reverend Doc, thank you for gift subs. I guess you paid it forward there. I was confused for a second. So this is kind of a weird hand for us, because we don't have any of our early drops. But we have both our colors. We've got removal. I mean, I think we have to keep it. It's not the dream hand for sure, but it's okay. And there's a significant chance we draw 2s and 3s and stuff as well, so... Or we'll just draw more lands. But hey, we'll have our Dawn Feather Eagle mana when it shows up. Yep, Nitsahone is drafting on a Thursday, Lord Bio. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So our opponent is having the kind of start we wish we were having. I'll be streaming on Thursdays for the rest of this month. Good God. We've had, you know, the fact that we're at least going to be 4 and 3 is kind of a miracle, because we've had some rough luck here and there. Of course, we also had the opponent who got stuck on 2 lands, so maybe it all evens out. But this opponent's stuck on 2 lands too, which may give us the opportunity we need to stabilize. We want to go wide. So our opponent had an early start, but then they missed a land drop. Uh-oh. Something's gonna get Welding Sparks. Man, I wish I didn't have to Welding Sparks it, and I guess I don't have to do it, but... Because playing the Aeronauts seems pretty good. I mean, yeah, except I'm going to take a huge hit. I take a huge hit no matter what I do here. So maybe, well, it's less of a hit if I do this, yeah. So... Hey, they have that guy. who we cut out of our deck. Ooh, that'll be good. Not this turn, mind you, but... Alright, so we're going to attack with both of these. If they decide to trade with the servo, I'm going to be pretty happy because I can gain 5 life off of it. Nice. And that's what we're going to do. So we're in decent shape. This Aeronaut's maybe about to die, but we did just gain 5 life off of it. So it's, well, it's done a good job already. This is the matchup. This card can be pretty backbreaking against red-white decks. Oh my god. Well, that's going to hurt this turn. We can basically shut it down from here on out, but we're taking 9 this turn. Okay, so we have... This is only 6 mana. I can't really afford to play my Dawn Feather Eagle here, because that thing will rock us if we allow... that's what we do. We're just going to attack with our Pioneer. 4, 5, 6. Wait a second. We have 7 mana? And I screwed that up? That's annoying. So, how did I do that? So, I think we still play it, even though we screwed up. This is a good lesson to learn. That's why I did this. Sometimes it's embarrassing that you screwed up. And as a result, you're like, I'm not going to play this because then my opponent will know I'm an idiot. But adding to the board here rather than just doing nothing is probably better than holding on to this and casting it next turn. So we should cast it now. And say, oops. And end our turn. You know, it does give us 7 damage in the air. So, you know. Level 2 Hype Train emote. I guess I'm the only one who can see that, but it looks like I got a new emote thanks to your guys' support. Uh-oh. So that's going to be a problem in the long run. Because they'll be able to turn this into a creature. Imagine if I'd actually played my Eagle last turn. I would have hit them for 8, and then they would have been pretty much dead on the backswing. So that hurts my soul a little bit. But what are you going to do, you know? Alright. So, tap you down. So we can hit them for 9 in the air. Let's draw another Dawn Feather Eagle. That's kind of what we needed to happen there, but... Neither of these have trample. So I think I'm actually just going to attack with everything here. Play this Intruder. And end our turn. Okay. I think that means we're dead. So I had a feeling this might be what happened, but I think being as aggressive as we were was the right plan. Of course, the better plan was to play a Dawn Feather Eagle last turn, and we would have won the game, but, you know. Yeah. So I can tap something, but if they're paying attention, they can just crew in response to the tap, but we're going to do this just in case they're not paying attention. They are, though. Yeah, we punted that one away for sure, because I somehow thought I only had 6 mana. Always count your mana. I almost wonder, you know, I was saying it's a lesson, but would have waiting to play that Dawn Feather Eagle have been a little better? Because I would have had the blockers still and hit them pretty hard. But it probably... I don't think so. I think we did the right thing, you know, after we did the wrong thing in that game. I think. Hard to say. Okay. Alright, so this is a good hand. Turn 1 Goggles into turn 2 Ether Chaser is pretty spicy. If only it gave them haste, you know? Is that asking too much? So yeah, we'll play our Chaser here. And I did it right this time. Turn 2, 3/3 with first strike that spits out servo tokens. Of course, now, here we are. Yeah, we'll play our Eddy Trailhawk here. Nothing else that can help us make more servos. So I should probably kill that. Except I can't. So, my deck's disappointed in how I've played with it, so it's decided... So, it's probably going to be better to play the Renegade here than Pacification Array. So it's really annoying that I can't kill this freaking Rhino. You know, if I had the third land, I could have killed it. But now it's going to attack us and get bigger and all of that. So, yeah. Now it's going to get a lot bigger. They can also crew the skiff here if they want to. I guess they don't want to, though. So it's a 4/5. We're not going to block it. Well, that's less than ideal. So we're going to attack with the Chaser here. Play this Array. We've had serious mana problems this draft. But again, you know, I did punt one game away, and another one we won because of our opponent's mana screw. So it kind of evens out. So, yeah, we're just going to take 7 here. Oh, good. That's not a problem at all. My God. Well, can at least block with 2 double strikers, you know? So I could give something flying here. But it doesn't really seem worth it to me to attack either. Really need some help from my deck here. Right, so I think we're now in chump block zone. Okay. That's how it is, I guess. We're gonna make it as hard for them as we can, which means tapping down Thriving Rhino and stuff. They probably have Revolt, but most likely it was worth killing that creature anyway. You don't have Trample. You do have Trample. God. Hey! It's my third land. I think you're a little late, buddy. Hungry Flames doesn't even... Well, that's not true. It'll help us kill the cavalry, I suppose. See how they attack us here. But I think we're dead. Hard not to be. The way things began. So... Is it better to leave up Hungry Flames? Yeah, I mean, I guess the best thing to do here is tap down the big Trampler rather than use Hungry Flames. So I have to block the Rhino. And that'll do it. That was not a very fun last game. I'll take the 4-3. You know, I punted away one game. We should have been 5-3, but you know, I'll take it.